Real Madrid's big transfer. Enzo Fernández will move to Madrid. He has already started looking for housing. Arsenal is preparing a major raid on the FA Cup holders. Eze will be in London soon. Manchester City has finally found a replacement for De Bruyne, and it's not Wirtz. All of this and more in today's episode. Real Madrid is preparing a high-profile transfer from the Premier League, with Enzo Fernández being the main candidate for the move. The Argentine midfielder from Chelsea has already reached an oral agreement with the Madrid club, according to Mundo Deportivo. According to Argentine journalist Gustavo Mendes, Fernández and his girlfriend are already looking for accommodation in Madrid, which is a clear sign of his upcoming transfer. Interestingly, Julian Alvarez, Atletico's forward, personally recommended an area for him to live, which is near his own home. Fernández, who joined Chelsea in 2023 for a record €121 million, has a contract until 2032, and the London club does not plan to part with him without substantial compensation. It is expected that in the event of negotiations, the transfer fee could exceed his initial cost. Real Madrid is not ready to pay the demanded sum, but is considering options for staggered payments or including players in the deal. The first contacts between the clubs have already taken place, and any agreement will only be possible after the conclusion of this summer's Club World Cup. After Toni Kroos's departure and the imminent departure of Luka Modric, who is already 39 years old, the Madrid team needs to strengthen its midfield depth and find a player capable of dictating play, possessing the ball under pressure, and controlling the pace of the match. Enzo is ideally suited for this role, as he possesses world-class passing, excellent vision, and the ability to work defensively. On the other hand, Chelsea is in a difficult situation. Selling Fernández could help the club with its financial balance, but at the same time, it would weaken the team's central midfield. The Argentine has been a key player in the midfield, and replacing him would require significant investment. Although there is no official confirmation from either side, the transfer process has already begun behind the scenes, and it appears the Madrid club is serious. Will Real Madrid be able to financially complete this transfer, and is Chelsea ready to part with one of its best players? We'll find out soon. Manchester City has pulled out of the race to sign Florian Wirtz, as the financial terms of the transfer proved to be too high. According to BBC Sport, the total cost of the deal, including transfer fee and salary, could have reached €300 million, which would have made this move the most expensive in City's history. The club's management also believes that Wirtz has already agreed to a move to Bayern Munich, so further competition for the player makes no sense. Despite this, City continues its search for a new attacking midfielder and is actively negotiating the transfer of Gibbs-White from Nottingham Forest, now considering him a priority signing this summer. The 25-year-old English midfielder has a contract with Nottingham until June 30th, 2027, and his market value is estimated at €50 million. However, the Forest do not want to let go of one of their leaders, which complicates the negotiation process between the clubs. Gibbs-White is expected to be a replacement for Kevin De Bruyne, as City is looking for a player capable of dictating play, creating chances, and controlling the pace of the match. His technique, vision, and ability to work under pressure make him an ideal candidate for the citizens. This season, he has played 34 matches, scored 5 goals, and provided 9 assists, demonstrating high effectiveness in creating chances. If the transfer happens, Gibbs-White could become a key element in City's attacking build-up, adding flexibility to the midfield and the ability to quickly transition from defense to attack. Arsenal is preparing for a major transfer, planning to activate Eberechi Eze's release clause from Crystal Palace for €80 million. The 25-year-old Englishman has long been on the Gunners' radar. His technique, dribbling, and vision impress both fans and fellow professionals. Specifically, Arsenal midfielder Declan Rice called Eze a magician, noting his unique playing style. Eze's primary position is the left wing, but he often shifts to the centre and feels perfectly comfortable in a playmaking role, which gives Mikel Arteta's coaching staff flexibility in tactical schemes for next season. Arsenal could face competition from Manchester City, who are considering Eze as a potential successor to Kevin De Bruyne. Despite this, Arsenal currently appears to be the favourite in the race for the player. If the transfer happens, Eze could become one of the central figures in the Londoners' revamped attacking line in the 2025-26 season. Leroy Sané will leave Bayern Munich this summer after contract extension talks broke down. Bild reports the 29-year-old winger had an agreement with the Munich club until June 30th, 2025, but the parties could not agree on new terms. Sané, along with his agent Pini Zahavi, demanded €12 million plus €3 million in bonuses, while Bayern offered €10 million plus €5.5 million in bonuses. The club does not plan to increase its offer, and Sané himself is not ready to compromise, which means he will enter the transfer market. Sané is a fairly good footballer, but he often has many underperforming matches. In my opinion, Bayern is offering him very good terms for his level. If he leaves the Bavarians, he will be like Sterling, just pointlessly moving between different clubs. Do you agree with my opinion? Write in the comments, let's discuss. Manchester United is finalizing the transfer of Cunha, and the Brazilian forward has already agreed to the move, regardless of whether the club qualifies for the Champions League. Previously, United was linked with Victor Gyökeres, Sporting's forward, as head coach Ruben Amorim had previously worked with him and had an excellent relationship with the player. However, this transfer will not happen because Gyökeres did not agree to the move, and United decided to focus on other options. In an interview, Amorim clearly stated that Manchester United does not need players who join the club only for the sake of the Champions League. He emphasized that the team is looking for footballers who want to play specifically for United and not just use the club as a springboard for European competitions. Regarding Cunha, United has agreed to pay €80 million for the 25-year-old Brazilian, of which €74 million will be the main sum, and another €6 million will be provided in bonuses. Thus, Cunha becomes United's first major signing this summer, and the club will continue its search for players who are ready to fight for the team's honor. Manchester City is preparing its first official offer to AC Milan for the transfer of Tijani Reinders. The English club is ready to offer a high salary to convince the Dutch midfielder to leave the Rossoneri, despite his recent contract extension until 2030. Reinders, who has become a key player for Milan, has already reached a preliminary agreement with City on personal contract terms. Milan is expected to demand around €90 million for him, although City hopes to agree on €50 to €65 million with potential bonuses. Pep Guardiola sees Reinders as an ideal partner for Rodri, as the Dutchman possesses technique, vision, and the ability to dictate play. Luka Modrić has already determined the timing of his career end. The legendary Croatian midfielder plans to retire in 2026 after participating in the World Cup with the Croatian national team. For this goal, he intends to stay at Real Madrid for another season and is ready to take a salary cut to extend his contract. The final decision regarding his future will be made by the management of the Madrid club, who have not yet decided on their next steps. Interestingly, Xabi Alonso personally approached Real Madrid with a request to extend Modric's contract for another season, as he considers him an important player for the team. This season, Modric has played 55 matches, scored 4 goals, and provided 9 assists, continuing to demonstrate a high level of play. That's it for now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Keep watching for more football action and have a wonderful day.